energies then, on
Yeah,
the moon
yeah.
or
Let's
new
call it.
moon.
Yeah, let's call it full moon energies because it's been a very interesting day today.
There's been a lot of interesting reports coming out today on various different things, which has been quite bizarre. Normally,
Really?
you get the odd one or two, but today the news reports I've been looking at all the different channels. There's just been a bombardment. There's been like an overflow of strange stories.
What
Anyway,
sort of
right.
stories?
Well, I'll tell you about that after the
Okay,
show.
okay. Cool.
Right. Everything is magic. Full moon energies. Andy,
Indeed.
are you ready?
I am ready.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, hello, people. So I'm just arranging my extra special crystals here. Oh, what a day it's been, honestly. Nothing particularly major, but what I find interesting is every single thing we've gone to do today, there's been a problem, or like when we made the stollen bites, the first batch, I forgot to put the marzipan in. I mean, what? And then, whenever I put all my Yuletide deckies away, I always make sure that I can get them out and, there's no tangles or anything, yeah? Not today. And I think I actually said it out loud. It's like there was something in everything today that needed to be untangled before you can move forward. So that's kind of been the energy of today, I think. So I've got crap on my glasses. Hold on. So I'm going to pull some cards for right now because I know. We did on Tuesday. We did the energies from Tuesday up until today, but clearly I can't remember exactly what came out in those cards, but I'll have to go back and have a look. But I just find it really interesting that is like so we haven't been out today. It's been chucking it down with rain. But I know Val saw 3 Discordia lorries today, and she's had a similar experience with her day to day. Like, it doesn't matter what you got to do. There's something that has to be untangled before she could move forwards, and I just find it quite interesting. So I'm going to stop waffling now, and let's pull some cards. Ooh, okay. So even the cards are jumping out all over the place. You just love it when that happens. Right, what have we got? Let's have a look. We've got 3 here. 4. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. Okay. I will take photos of these for the group. Oh my goodness. So the interesting thing about Discordia. Oh wow. Okay. The interesting thing about Discordia is she creates. There's a creative order that comes out of the chaos. She is the daughter of the void. So the void space is where everything's happening all at once. So that could be seen as quite chaotic. And was it last week I was talking about that, or some other time? I can't remember. But when a lot of things are happening all at once and you feel like you can't actually get up and, like do anything because you feel weighed down by all this stuff that's going on, that's kind of how I see the void space. That's kind of what it feels like when everything is happening all at once, one thing after another. And sometimes they overlap as well. And it's like, oh, are you serious? Stop it. And I think that's what today's been about as well. The culmination, because the full moon is very much about those things, whether you've set an intention leading up to the full moon or not, there's a culmination of all the things that have been happening in the run up to the full moon that go boom. And it's a super moon, although we can't see it because it's been cloudy all day. But just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not there, okay? So Let me take a picture of these cards because they are quite amazing. And I have to say, today, the end card there is definitely correct. Today has definitely been a challenge. So we have the shining star. It's time for you to take front and center stage. I like that quite a lot. And I think this is kind of when we're in that energy of, oh God, it doesn't matter what I do. It's like it's like you have to jump 1,500 hurdles before you can actually, do the very thing that you want to be doing today. It does. It I'll tell you what today brought for me, amongst the cursing when things weren't working, was I'm not giving up on this. At one point I nearly did give up on putting all my lights out on the landing. It looks very what is it Ian called it? It looks very kitsch out on the landing because it's just lights with silver tinsel around the lights, and I love it. I don't care. But I like the word kitsch, so I'm going with that. But I very nearly didn't. At one point, I said, right, if you don't behave yourself, talking to the lights, of course, I'm not going to put you up. And then they sort of started to behave themselves. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what it's done for me today, is it's made me push through all that crap, all the flotsam that was going on. And then we have share your gifts. Get ready to see movement when you choose to share your gifts. So again, interesting card. Why? Because when you are doing your creativity, that is your gift that you are sending out. Yeah. So what happened today when I was moving through that? You could even say it's resistance for whatever reason. I mean, where would my resistance be coming from? Probably from a place of, I don't know. We've had a lot of stuff going on recently, and I would say a lot of it's not been very pleasant. So it's like, why am I even bothering to put up, lights in the hallway? But I did. So it actually moved forward, and we've had a lovely evening, and now I'm here with you lovely people pulling cards. So this is really cool. The other really nice thing I like about the first two cards is it looks like fairy lights. So I'm going with that. So the next card, Synergy, and you have the Crab Nebula there. I'm pretty sure it's a Crab Nebula. Blending together all of your talents. So these are the talents, your gifts, yeah? So this is a little story here. Stepping up, yeah? Share your gifts. When you do that, you create an energy signature that holds within you authentic creative expression. So you can't get more authentic and creative than a very kitschy landing with fairy lights and silver tinsel. I like it. And then we have the challenger. Now it says your relationships could be challenging you in a very painful way, but I would say today has been very challenging. Not necessarily painful, but it creates friction, is what I would say. Yeah, so there we go. I'm not sure what that it looks like. It could be a nebula of some description in that card, but it's very blue, which is quite interesting. Why is that interesting? Because I don't normally. Well, I've been very specific this year on my tree, apart from the other ornaments that are on there. But it was blue and gold that I was going for, with other nice decorations as well. But that's the kind of blue that I was looking for. Could I find anything that colour? No. So I had to compromise. But there we go. Um, so yeah, I think this lunar full moon energy is definitely around really digging deep, I would say. Digging really deep, getting in there. Yeah. And really finding your own way forward, I would say, as well. Because how you do creativity is going to be very unique. So, oh, there we go. Whoa, there we go. And another one, and another one. Okay. I was going to say, I'm just shuffling the deck to pull some cards and bloop, out they come. There we go. We've got quite a lot here, actually. So, let's do those first. So, we've got the one that came up face up. Ooh. 5 of Shields. So, this would be the 5 of Pentacles. This is the... Oh, blimey, what deck is this? This is the... Hang on, put that up there. Branches of the Celtic Tarot, which is quite nice. Let me just take a picture. So this card, there we go, is like literally in this card. You can see it literally being left out in the cold. So I would say that might have been what it felt like today, I would suggest. In fact, no, that one's going in the middle. Okay. Interesting. We have snow in the picture. We might have snow in the picture. I mean, snow today. What else do we have? We have the Knight of Shields. Oh, yeah, we've got more snow. Do we think that's a message, anybody? Does anyone else here think we're going to have some snow? And he's riding a dragon as well, which is very cool.
I hope so. Yeah, we want snow. We do. We want snow.
Of course we want snow. Snow is the best. Okay, what else? Oh, we've got... There's 4 on each side. Okay, 4 on each side it is then. We got the 4 of Cauldrons. Interesting. So there's something very interesting about this particular card. Oh, didn't share that. There we go. Let me take a picture. Bloop. Okay. Let's move that out of the way over there. Okay, we have the 10 of Cauldrons. Nice card, which is the Cauldrons of the Cups in this particular deck. Okay. There we go. And we have more dragon energy. Wow. Knight of Wands. Very cool. Loving that card. I do like a nice dragon. In fact, it's the same dragon that's in the Knight of Shields. It looks like the same dragon. I don't know. Are all dragons the same? Looks like the same dragon. Well, very similar anyway. Anyway, let's stop talking about dragons. Fixated on dragons. Right, what else have we got? We've got the 2 of Cauldrons, which is 2 of Cups. Let's take a picture. So if anyone wants to pull cards alongside, feel free. Yeah. And then the Seven of Wands.
I'm a shuffling.
Cool. Very cool card, that one. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Pure magic. Wow, that's very cool. So, Queen of Wands. Take a picture. And then the last one, Two of Swords. Okay. Loving that. Right. Right, let's have a look. Let's have a look. So, we've already established that this Five of Shields could be what it felt like today. Almost like you're not in the loop. For me, it was literally because for some reason the lights kept tangling, and when I put my my Yuletide deckies away, they're always I put them away in such a way that that it's not going to be a problem when I get them out again. But today kept tangling up, and I was getting very annoyed. So literally, I was out of the loop. Because these things, they just kept, I don't know how they did it. It's like they were having a weird party. Yeah. Oh, and then there was another strange thing with the lights as well. And I know spirit can interfere with lights. So I plugged them in. They were all working. Yeah. Put them all up. They were still working. And then all of a sudden they went off for no reason. Yeah. So I unplugged them, plugged them in somewhere else. They wouldn't work. Did that a few times. Unplugged, plugged them in. Didn't work. And then I just turned off the switch at the wall. And then all of a sudden they flashed on and off again. Yeah. I'm like, well, that's weird. So I unplugged it, plugged them back in, turned the switch on at the wall, and they worked again. Now these are LED lights. LED lights don't, as far as I have never known LED lights, mains LED lights, to do anything quite like that. So literally, I was out of the loop with the lights today, and even with the tinsel. Yeah. So yeah. So that could definitely be what it felt like today. Because what I really love about this Five of Shields is you've got the light coming off. So this is Pentacles energy. So this is Earth energy, yeah. So I would probably say I wasn't grounded enough today. I would probably say that was what that was. Because you've got this light coming off of the Pentacles, yeah. These the kind of the shields, but sometimes they're represented by gold coins. So literally, you're bypassing the light. If that makes sense. See, I would say there was a slight misalignment going on there, which made you feel like you, pardon me, were out in the cold. That's kind of what it. Yeah, I would definitely say that's how I felt today. Okay. So I'm going to split this reading into two parts, yeah? So with the Shining Star, it's time for you to take front and center stage. And the card underneath it, the Synergy. So the tarot cards to the left of those, I'm going to... So let me just share that picture in the group so you can see what I'm talking about. Let me just... God, my phone's doing weird stuff. Right, stop it. Technology does not like whatever this energy is. It's very strange. Right, so you can see what I'm talking about. There we go. So the cards to the left, I think this is the potential, because we're talking about the shining star and the synergy. So the potential is there. And then on the right hand side, this is the kind of when you step into that, yeah. When you are faced with challenges, around, I would say it's around when you do step up and forward and get yourself right out of your comfort zone, as they call it. Then what we then see are the cards on the right hand side. I'm just looking at it. It looks like a UFO in that picture. Oh no, it's Saturn. Okay, possibly. But you know, I don't know. Let me get my magnifying glass out, because I don't know if that's Saturn or a UFO. Let's have a look. I just got distracted by that. Bear with me, guys. No, that looks like Saturn. That's a shame. I was going to go, wow, that's amazing. They've got a UFO in the picture. But it's Saturn, so we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. So the potential, before you take that leap, yeah, out of your... It's a shame we don't have the full card here, actually, but there we go. But that potential, let me just see. Actually, let's take one from this deck. Just quickly. Little side note. Oh, what's that? What's that? What's that? The moon. Okay, we got the moon card. Okay, so there we go. But it's I would say, although it's not the full card, it's interesting because it's a 0. So I'm going to put that in the middle there. That's the moon card, in case you're wondering. It's a lovely card. Love that. So yeah, the potential. Get back on track, Ed. So the 4 of cauldrons, or the 4 of cups, what I find really interesting about this particular card is the kind of the skeletal hand, which is coming up, which is the 4th cauldron, yeah, which is covered. It looks to me like it's ice. So the potential here is, obviously this is to do with the element of water, heart, the emotional body. So there's definitely a feeling of stuckness. Why am I saying stuckness? Because that particular cauldron is frozen. And this is like I think this is a call from the ancestors, hence the skeletal hand. It's like they're almost giving you they're giving you a clue. They're giving you a message, a sign, yeah. So if you do work with ancestors, I would definitely call on them to bring forth whatever that is, yeah, that they are trying to tell you. And then we have the Knight of Shields, and we have the snow. And obviously we have the snow in the 5 of Shields as well. So there's no snow in any of the other cards. So you felt like, you know, a bit out in the cold today. Could even be because, you know, how things unfold is how things unfold. You know, from my own personal, what I've learned over the years, you know, your soul knows the path. It knows the path. It has seen it before you incarnated. It saw the path. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, we stray off that path, and we're, you know, it can take years or it can take moments to get back on the path. So this is definitely a call from your ancestors to bring you. So this is shields again, which is pentacles. So what I find interesting about this Knight of Shields is the color of the dragon. There's a fire energy in that. So it could be something as radical. I don't know if radical is the right word, but the process of alchemy, the process of stepping up, requires something from your solar plexus, which is the element of fire. So this Knight of Shields, although he's of the earth, he's moving. If this was a different color dragon, I wouldn't be saying this, but this dragon is like a reddy orange color, just says fire to me. And that there's almost the same dragon in the one underneath the Four of Cauldrons. Is there's a journey going on here, clearly. So coming out of this energy of this kind of stuck energy where your ancestors are giving you a little clue, it requires your divine will. It requires some action, which is very night energy. I'll have a look at those in a minute, Andy. Very cool. So there's a push forward. There's a push forward to this shining star, to sharing your gifts, to blending your, the things that you do, which then creates this ripple of creative energy. Even if you're being challenged all over the place when you're doing that, because that's what the mind does. Oh, you don't want to be doing that, or are you sure about that? Oh, I don't know. Or you know what's going to happen if you do that, don't you? All that garbage. The USB stick that's stuck in our head running those weird programs. So there's a push to come out of this stuck energy, because even this Four of Cauldrons, it looks, it's not a warm card. And this is water energy, this is heart energy. I mean, the other cauldron cards, there's only one, actually no, there's two. They're very warm, but this Four of Cauldrons is not a warm card. It feels cold. So the cards underneath. So underneath the Four of Cauldrons, we've got the Knight of Wands. So again, this is movement, fire. And the way he is facing, she, not sure. I think it's a he, whoever. They're facing in the opposite way to the Knight of Shields. So what that's telling me is, even though you are moving forward, there's a forward push. It's like there's still some, because we got a volcano in the background of that card. There's almost like a this is fire energy. So there's it's very quick, quick movement away from, even though you're still facing the stuck energy. It's kind of like an underlying energy of actually, this could be like the earthquake energy that's going on at the moment, like this whole energy of Alexander Quinn's post talks about. One of the things he says was, how has your stomach been today? Well, I can tell you now, for the past 3 days, myself and Ian have been taking it in turns to have dodgy stomachs. So I'd say this is definitely what this is about. Solar plexus energy again. So although there's a push forward, so you're pushing forward, there's still this, there's still this energy that's moving through, you could say, in the most nicest way, there's still something moving through, which is quite fiery. Yeah. And it's moving quickly because it's a night energy. So, be aware, guys. And then we have the 10 of cauldrons. So where this brings you to, when you push through, and when I say push through, it's not being knocked off your track. So, me putting up the lights and the tinsel today, even though I had moments where I'm like, do you know what, I'm not doing this. I was on the verge of having a hissy fit, in fact, I'll be honest, because it was just ridiculous. So even though, there's this, I'm not being, pushed off my track, moving through this, this feeling like you've been left in the cold, yeah. And, there's stuff going on, like internally bubbling away. Where you end up when you push through is this 10 of cauldrons. 10 of cauldrons, 10 of cups is the emotional fulfillment. It's everything around those things that you hold dear. Yeah. So that, in this particular card, that could be family, friends, a home, all those amazing things. Or it could be personal, be personal to you as well. What brings you emotional fulfillment. So yeah, when you choose to not be veered off your track, that brings you that. It warms your heart, literally. Yeah. So I really like that. So I've put the moon card. Let me just, I've already done the moon card there, haven't I? So the moon, obviously, it's a full moon. It's a super moon. What more can I say about the moon card except it is a full moon, and it was a different deck as well. That was the Druid Tarot. It's that one, the moon card. Yeah. Okay. So I talked about the thing before, the potential before and I would say once we get to the end of this full moon energy, which can last up to 3 days after the actual full moon, the place that we get into. So we've got cauldrons, wands, and swords. So this is more fire than anything. So more divine will. Yeah. We've got water, and we've got the mind. So we've got the emotional body. We've got your the energy of your divine will, yeah, and then we've got the mental body. We've also got 2 2s there, which is interesting. Balance and balance of, when we come through this, what you get is balance of emotions, of your emotional body, balance of the mind, your mental body. It's like the 7 of wands there. It's like, okay, come on then. And what's really interesting is behind the figure in the 7 of wands, what have you got behind him? You've got the ancestors. So this card, all the way back to the 4 of cauldrons, links all the way forward, and it's the beginning of that row and then the end of that row. I love that. Couldn't make that up. So you've got your ancestors at your back. They've got your back, yeah. And whatever's going to happen, hey, you're going to deal with it because you're a 7 of wands, and you've just been through this. Now, is this like the end and the beginning? I would say so, because there was something here in this 4 of cauldrons that was stuck. Feeling out in the cold, stuck. All that stuff. Not being able to step up and share your gifts and kind of bring them together in such a way that is unique to you, yeah? And being able to do that among many challenges, I would say. Like this. Okay, so the Queen of Wands. Yeah, you know who the Queen of Wands is, don't you? She's the very powerful witch. That's what she is. She brings the fire. Absolutely. And there's again, so in that card, there's a balance. Look at that, guys. So if you look behind her, I don't know if you can see that. So you've got the mountains that are red, which is the mountain, yeah? And then you've got the mountain on the other side, which is covered in ice and snow. So there we go. Right there, we have that journey, yeah? And it's balanced. And you have got a dragon. Sorry, I didn't see that. You have got a little dragon. You've got a cat. I'm not sure what that is. Is that her foot? Her foot looks kind of weird. I don't know what that is. You've got sunflowers there. You've also got Saturn there as well. And yes, her throne does look like a phallic symbol. Technically a wand, if you like. So you've got, there's obviously fire here. There's solar energy, but you've got Saturn as well. Why is Saturn in this picture? I would say Saturn is what gives us structure. It gives us a framework, yeah, which we can work in. Fire needs a framework. It needs something to, I mean, unless you're talking, unless you're talking, well, I am English, I promise. Unless you're talking in pure, like, magical being terms, a fire needs something to actually catch a light. Yeah. Okay. Most of the time. So I would say that's what that is indicating, the structure. So the structure, yeah, I'm waggling my finger. The structure is these first 4 cards that I drew. So shining star, share your gifts, blending that creativity, even in the midst of all these challenges, you're still doing it. I would say that's what that is indicating to me. So that's a really powerful card. And she brings the fire. She brings the energy of alchemization, the alchemizing of, from these cards over here, from, stuck, cold, through to, 2 of cauldrons, 7 of wands, Queen of Wands. And then we have the 2 of swords. So what is the 2 of swords? It's a balance of the mental body, but it's also, is she ready to make a choice here? Let's have a look. What are we going to grab? We're going to grab one of... Okay. My Lenormand deck just went plop. So, okay, that's what we are going to... Just put them all around the right way. Oh, that was weird. Okay. Clearly they want to speak. So, let's see. So, is this... Okay. Interesting. Let's have another one. So this is to do with hearts, with anything around the heart energy. So you could call it love consciousness. You could call it the heart. Oh, we have the moon. So, okay. Here's the heart. And we have the moon. So let me just take a picture of those cards as a reference for the 2 of swords. So this is illumination, or a spiritual practice. This card, this moon card, is a waning crescent, or waning. Actually, it's more a waning gibbosy kind of. So this is. Oh, we had a similar thing on Tuesday actually, which is interesting. So, if I remember rightly, the energy between the next waning gibbous, or in that reading it was crescent. So that transition between that and the next new moon after the dark moon is going to be a very magical time, which corresponds to the Two of Swords. So is that a balance? You're finding the internal mental body balanced with the heart, which we have in the cauldrons. We have quite a lot of cauldron energy here. And obviously, your creativity, which all corresponds to the element of water, which is your second chakra, which is all about creativity. So, let's have a look at what we've got that Andy pulled card-wise. Peaceful hut. What does that say? Find solace and serenity in the some quiet moments of retreat.
Yeah, this is my new Oracle deck that I got earlier this week that I've not given an assigned tarot deck yet, and it's called the Enchanted Forest Oracle Cards. And I don't know if you can read that clearly, but it says, the first card that fell, it literally fell out, this one, find solstice and serenity in the quiet moments of retreat. Whilst I was focusing on the new moon, the super moon, this moon. Find solace and serenity in the quiet moments of retreat. Stand tall and protect what is precious to you. Trust in your ability to manifest your desires and create sacred space for peace and reflection. So it were peaceful hut, ancient monolith, witch house, and hidden waterfall. And what struck me was it's like a game of two halves, because peaceful hut and an ancient monolith is one half.
Yeah.
And the same, it's repeated, witch house and hidden waterfall. It's like two halves.
Yeah.
Saying the same thing.
So you got a lot of water in there. We got quite a lot of water in these cards tonight. Even the snow, although they're shields, it's still water. What I find really interesting, you got ancient monolith. You got a monolith in the moon card that I drew. Wow. So yeah, that's really interesting, because in the Four of Cauldrons, that's very much the kind of flip side of finding that kind of solace and taking yourself away, is that you can end up being a little bit stuck there. It's like, how do you then get out of that? So that's interesting. It's like the flip side of that, isn't it?
And if you look in that ancient monolith card, there's a circular section at the top that does look like the moon.
Oh my goodness. Wow. That is really cool. Wow. That's amazing. And then you have Witch House. Interesting. Trust in your ability to manifest your desires, which is the first four cards that I pulled, which is all about your creativity. I love that house, by the way. It's an amazing house. I want a house like that.
Yeah, you would love to live there, wouldn't you?
Wouldn't I just? And then hidden waterfall. Create sacred space for peace and reflection.
Which
Mm.
this is where I'm at. I am literally at the hidden waterfall. I am in that sacred space for peace and reflection. It's been created, it's been done. Going back to the witch house is trusting your abilities to manifest your desires. And yes,
Yeah.
And stand tall and protect the ancient monolith. Stand tall and protect what is precious to you, which is what I do.
Absolutely. And that's mirrored in the Seven of Wands.
Yeah.
And it's also mirrored in the two twos that we've got, the Two of Cauldrons and the Two of Swords, which is, balance of the emotional body, balance of the mental body. Oh, wow. And what I love about this card as well, Andy, is that the waterfall kind of is almost mirroring the monolith in the moon card that I pulled. If you look at that, it's like two massive stones with like something on the top of it.
Yeah. Like a monolith.
Exactly. Wow. That is really cool. I love that. That's brilliant. Wow. Okay, so before I open it up, I'm just going to take one more card from this Spirit of the Animals deck. One last card, and then I'm going to open it up. So if anyone wants to share any cards they've pulled alongside, or just talk about what they've been experiencing today, this has been very interesting. Which is code for in my book. Right, what have we got? Okay. We have... Oh, wow. Okay. We have the cougar. Let me take a picture. This is amazing. Okay. It says assertive, which is what these first 4 cards have been talking about. Yeah. In silence, you find power. So that last card that Andy pulled about finding time to, find the peace and the serenity. Yeah. In silence, you find power. Claim your leadership role and take action. You know where to go and what to do. You have the courage and confidence to succeed. Holy crap. There we go, guys. Let's open it up. Let's see. What do people want to share? Because I love this.
Rachel, if you want to send your images to me, I'll post them up. There's a image restriction sharing on the group for non-presenters. I can rectify that. But for quickness,
I sent it to you, and I sent it to you, Andy.
Hang on. Yeah, you have. Hang on, Rachel. There we go. Okay. Forward to. There you go. Rachel's cards.
Let's have a look. What have we got? Let's have a look. That is the Devil card. Interesting. Attachments. Which is kind of the 4 of Cauldrons. That's definitely about... There's... Yeah. I would say that's what that is around. Interesting. Because what I always find with the Devil card is the people that are in there that are chained, it would actually be very easy for them to break those chains if they just realised that. So I find that quite interesting. Six of Cups. So we got cups again. This can be about, because it's emotions, this can be about reliving, almost like childhood memories, which is interesting. Yeah, I was talking. Oh my goodness. I don't know if you guys have had this today. I had some really obscure childhood memories come up, things that I'd forgotten. Good things, but they were like, wow, where did that come from? So I don't know if any of you have had that today.
Not childhood memories, but memories from a long time ago.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's amazing. And how did they make you feel?
Nostalgic.
So it was kind of warm and like a big hug. Wow.
Yeah.
I'd say that's your ancestors. So this is the in the Four of Cauldrons. That's, that kind of that skeletal hand coming up with that kind of iced bowl, if you like, that iced cauldron with that, with those things in it. Very interesting. And then you got the Ace of Pentacles. So your pentacles as well are shining a light.
Yeah.
Wow. That's really cool. Like the Five of Pentacles that I've got there. Literally, the shining light. Very nice. And then underneath, Chrysocolla. Nice crystal. Very nice crystal. Create your own world inspired by beauty. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. I love that. Wow. And Chrysocolla kind of bridges the heart and the throat chakra. So it's both, but it's also the higher heart as well, because it has like a turquoisey kind of colour to it.
Oh, nice.
So those three chakras, when it comes to, the sharing of your gifts and finding out how your unique creativity can, get out there, I think that's pretty amazing. Sapphire, very nice. Third eye crystal right there. Be true to yourself by accepting the splendor. Oh, I love that word, splendor. Someone said to me yesterday about my tree, splendid. Yeah, I hadn't heard that word for a very long time. No one uses words like that anymore, do they? Splendid. Oh, I love it. Yeah, the splendor of your soul. Absolutely. And that aura is just, wow. I got goosebumps. And there's neutrinos and stars everywhere. Wow. Definitely mirrors the Shining Star card, I would say.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because you can get sapphires that are called star sapphires.
Oh,
which is really interesting. Yeah, star sapphires. I'm not sure why they're called that, but it's yeah. I think on the end, because they usually come, they're quite long, these stones, and at the end, I think I've got one actually. It has like a star shape on the end. I think that's why they're called star sapphires. So yeah, that's very cool. So that's definitely lining up with the Shining Star card, definitely. And it's underneath the Six of Cups. So that that moment when you are given a hug by an amazing nostalgia provoking memory of something is just, yeah. Wow. Oh, it's real connection, I would say.
Yeah.
Real connection. And then we have carnelian. Oh, yes. I love carnelian. It's one of my favorite crystals for just calming everything the frell down. It's so nice. And it's so, because you've got the butterflies there, and it's with the Ace of Pentacles, carnelian, connected to the root chakra. Boom. Right there. Earth, grounding. Oh, and through that comes the transformation, which is the butterflies. And she's wearing like a orange, which is the second chakra, creativity.
Mm.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. That's so cool. Sorry, what did you see in the cards, Rachel? There's me waffling on. But they're I just get so excited. Sorry.
I love that you're so effervescent about it. It's wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
Just a kind of like, well, the new moon. The full moon energies have been very interesting, to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
And having been shown something at the weekend that I really do need to kind of, I'm becoming more attuned to my gifts, if you like.
Yeah.
And more accepting of them, and more in tune with them. So that's kind of how I'm feeling.
Wow. And so the journey begins. It's amazing. We think we've been on a journey so far. No. I think it's just started. Oh, wow. Very cool cards. Thank you for sharing those, Rachel. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Very cool. Did anyone else have anything they wanted to share or talk about? Or because we're on the hour now. No? Okie dokie. Do you want to stop the recording, Andy? While I'll just what?
I will. Hang on. Yeah. Stop. There we go.
Fantastic.
Right. You know, on Tuesday we were talking about hairs.
Yes.
What was the significance of hairs?
So hairs are mainly connected with Ostara. So, the story goes, Ostara is usually joined by a wren, and the wren that would, I don't know if the wren would wake her up or if the wren was with her all the time. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But the wren falls in love with a hare, a jack hare, and when they come together, the wren is actually, I think the wren is actually a hare, but she had a spell put on her, so she was not a hare but a bird. So the jack hare and the, I don't know what a female hare is called actually. I don't know. That's a good question.
Is it a doe?
It could be a doe, yeah. Could be. Doe and a jack sounds about right. When they have babies, they're hares in eggs, which is where you get the whole thing. So a hare is very much about rebirth, which kind of makes sense as to why the hare is associated with the winter solstice, because it's the rebirth of the sun. So it kind of makes sense why hares are part of the winter solstice.
Right. The reason why I ask is that twice tonight, whilst shuffling, and then 4 cards fell out earlier.
Yeah.
Each time I looked at the bag, which was twice,